700 well executive order issued late Monday amount to a fulfillment of something, is talked about during the presidential campaign. But whether it succeeds is far from certain amid what is likely to be a lengthy legal battle over the president's immigration policies and the consultational right to citizenship. Also, let me let you know that this issue of Jackberg syndrome, this issue of brain drain, about 6,000 medical consultants, are just remaining in Nigeria. That's coming from the Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria. Crying out loud that 6,000 consultants are left in the country. Who is saying this? The President, Mohammed of MDCA, Medcan, says that during the association's National Executive Council meeting in Ilori, that only 6,000 consultants are left. And so many more, are approaching their retirement age. It's worrisome. It's very worrisome. And then we'll look more into all of this. But quickly, let's take a short break. And when we return, definitely we'll join our guests who will definitely be doing justice into all of this. Please stay with us.
Cholera is a severe diarrhea-like infection that is caused by eating food or drinking water contaminated by a particular kind of bacteria or germ. Cholera can kill untreated people within hours.
University lecturer Barrister Deji Olaleye. Barrister, good morning.
Good morning. How are we today?
I were fine. How are you too, Barrister? I know you're a little bit under the weather,
great.
but
yeah, I'm feeling great. Thank you.
All right, Barrister. I mean, let's look deeply into the issue of brain drain and illegality of Trump's ban on bets, right? But before we go there, I mean, you are a university lecturer. Let's go to your sector. Many of the lecturers right now are either moving, out or probably going into private sectors. I mean, let's address that. Let's look that deeply into that. What do you think are the primary reason why these professionals are seeking opportunities, abroad?
Oh, all right. Thank you very much for the question. Country. Quite a number of professionals are getting exasperated about the state of affairs of the country, and many of them are looking for greener pasture outside the country. And of course, secondly, the opportunity is created in many countries for them to be able to flare their expertise, for them to be able to show what they can do. And of course, you know that we are living in a global world where people's knowledge, experience, and skill can be useful even outside their country. And so there's a lot of pull out there's a lot of pull-out of professionals, particularly from Africa and Asia into Europe, and just for the development of Europe. And of course, you know that in Europe, as of today, Europe and America, not much of their citizens are actually interested in education like that. Perhaps studies have shown that as a result of the social benefits that they enjoy, many of their people are not really particularly interested in higher education. Okay.
Do you think that system is working for them?
Yes, it's working. I mean, that's why they need professionals from other parts of the world.
They go more into technical.
Some of the jobs, yes. Some of the jobs comes with visa and permanent residency. All right. Some of those jobs comes with special incentives. Okay. And if you are living in a country like Nigeria where nothing is working, obviously you will want to live a better life for yourself. And of course, we don't have social benefits. There's no social security. Life is at risk, and all of that. Even your qualification and your experience and expertise means nothing. No, in this country, nobody cares. So, and the economy is going down. So people want to improve their social life, and the condition of living of their family. So, and I think that's what is responsible principally for this movement, this mass movement out of the country to other countries in the world, especially Europe and America.
I was speaking with a friend, 3 days ago, I guess, and it is in UK, and he was telling me how so many Nigerians are right there in depression. I was like, I was shocked. Depression, why? But you guys are, having a good life and all of that. He said, what is a good life when there is boredom, when the money you were earning, you spend it right back into the economy? It's just like 4 walls. You go here. So
yes.
I was shocked when he made such statement. But this is the fact that people are still, even with him saying, "Oh, depression," a lot of Nigerians are falling. People are still, trooping down there. So, is this not a call for action from the federal government?
Yes, I think the government needs to take this as an emergency. Sincerely speaking, it's an emergency that should be addressed as fast as possible. But unfortunately, those in government may not see it as an emergency. And that's why it's a big challenge, actually. It's a big challenge. You can, if you follow the news, just some few days ago, the Nigerian Medical Association, came out with the statistics that over 16,000 doctors have left the shores of Nigeria to foreign countries. And
medical consultants, said so many.
Medical sector.
Yes, and about 1,700 consultants are already approaching their retirement age.
Obviously, and those people, once they retire, they also move out of the country to assist other countries, to go on contract, maybe to Dubai. Dubai has gotten a lot of our doctors. They've taken so much of our doctors. Canada too. Almost every day, people are being recruited who are doctors, and not to talk of even nurses, not to talk of medical technologists and other medical associates. And that's only in the medical sector. You have in other sectors, engineering, law, mention it, almost all sectors.
What about your own sector? What's propelling them to go in your own sector? In lecturing.
A lot of lecturers are no longer interested in working in this country.
Why?
Because obviously there are no provisions. Number one, there are no provisions for research. The TED fund team, the TED fund that used to provide some kind of grant for research is limited, and the conditions around it is so difficult to get. It's so difficult to get it, and the competition for it is so tough. And then you don't have industry-based support, financial support, either in form of research grants, either in form of assistance from the corporate sector or the entire, like you have in advanced countries. And the government too is not funding research. So a lot of lecturers are not interested in continuing in this country. I can tell you, as a lawyer and as a lecturer, a lot of my friends have left this country, and many more are still going to leave. Okay? Many more are still going to leave because the condition is just very poor. In terms of, you can imagine a professor still on the salary of just minimally 300,000, some 250,000, depending on the school that they are in, federal schools. Okay, it's just now that effort is being made to raise it up to about 400,000 and all of that. So, and what can you do with such money? What can you do in a month with such money? And of course, we know also the government is still struggling with the 70,000 naira as minimum wage for the lower income earners. And they've not even been paying that money. Despite the fact that they agreed, they fixed it, they have not been paying it. The economic condition is so tough, people cannot eat. To maintain your car now is a big problem in the country. Okay? You have to buy fuel over a period of 2 days. You buy fuel of over 40,000, 30,000 naira. And so all of this put together is making life so difficult and tough for Nigerians, professionals.
All right.
So, and most of them feel that the best way is to leave the country and take their family out of the country.
Is that a solution?
Well, to them, that is the solution foreseeable now. That's the solution. That's the pragmatic response to the condition, the economic situation of the country now. And many people see it as the best alternative right now. And that's why it's an emergency. That's why government should address the problem. And I understand some time ago that there was an attempt to prevent it by government speaking to some of the embassies not to give visas to Nigerian professionals. That's not going to solve the problem. You know, that's not the way to go. You know, that's not a good approach. You know,
all right.
I think we need to drastically address the condition under which our people are working. We have a lot of brilliant people in this country.
I agree, but it seems the government are not even looking that direction. It seems the government are just after putting an hand to the whole of restricting visas.
We have elevated politics. We have elevated politics beyond governance. That's why we are having this problem. Everything about Nigeria is politics. What the politicians are doing, they are the only one that is in the news, and most of them don't care about others. The people in government, the people in the National Assembly, the governors, they don't care about their professionals. They don't care about anybody.
Because,
so when you have a country being run in that way, obviously there will be discontent.
Medcan, that's the medical practitioner. I've come out to say that in the next 5 years, 1,700 consultants are going to leave the service for retirement. This is alarming. But Lagos, you can be part of this conversation right here on Spotlight on Super 92.7 FM 0705 890 4927 0705 890 4927 or 0805 0805 092 0927 0805 092 0927. Don't forget, you can also send us your message via WhatsApp on 0705 690 0927 0705 690 0927. Yes, we're taking a look at the brain drain and the legality of Trump's ban on birthright citizenship. Who's on the line there? Good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, please call us 0705 890 4927 0705 890 4927 or 0805 092 0927 0805 092 0927. All right, let's look at this stories also. How do legal experts view the constitutionality of Trump's executive order on ending birthright citizenship. But before that, let's pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Please kindly turn down the volume on your radio set so we can hear you well.
Yes, I'm turning it down now.
Please turn down the volume. Okay, all right. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm following the program. Yes, I like this topic people are bringing up. Because of things have gotten corrupted in this country. Can't imagine the health sector. Why won't people run away? Somebody wants to suffer. They will run away. And later they will come back and tell people to them. And when you put them in, they will turn the masses to slaves. So people run away. Everybody in the health sector now is crying. They don't pay. They promise wages. They don't pay minimum wage. They just keep promising. Government is a failure. I hope they know they are not coming back next time. Nothing of APC. They are not coming back. Nobody's voting them in again. Because they failed everybody.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. You can't speak for them. Definitely, you can't speak for everyone. You speak for yourself on that 2027 issues there. But we're still looking at brain drain and the legality of Trump's ban on birthright citizenship. A brain drain in our dear country, Nigeria. So many professionals, health sector, engineering sectors, and all of this. How many more will now be left in our country? This is a question we keep asking ourselves. The issues of brain drain. But then let's go. Is corruption also attributed to this brain drain in Nigeria? Barrister?
Yes. Corruption is largely the major reason why we seem to be grappling with so many problems in the country, particularly problem of lack of infrastructure, problem of institutional problems, of inability to organize the country, and then the stealing of our common patrimony by people in government. It's so easy in Nigeria today to steal billions of money from the government. I wonder how that is possible. I wonder what access people will have to government funds that you can steal over 20 billion, over 30 billion of government resources unsuspectingly. Okay? And it obviously shows that there are no internal control system in the government. Everybody is just able to have access. Once you have opportunity, you can steal as much as you can, and all of that. And I think that's why politics is becoming the most lucrative business. Maybe next to abduction and killings or terrorism. And it's unfortunate that we are having this challenge. It only shows how incompetent those in government are. Obviously, if you ask me, it's evidence that they are incompetent and they are not patriotic. They are not people of responsibility. And obviously, Nigeria has enough resources to take care of its professionals, to take care of its citizens. But unfortunately, a few people have cornered the wealth of this country, and they don't care about whether others survive. They are not even interested in taking care of the nation, of the needs of the nation, the social needs of the country, the economic needs of the country. They are not bothered about it. They are only interested in gathering the wealth and sharing it among themselves. And as long as we are doing all of this, I don't see how any reasonable professional will want to remain in this country. Obviously, like the others, the speaker, the man who called in said, they will leave. Like for me, almost about 10 of my friends have had to close down their office to move out of the country. Lawyers who are doing well. In fact, one of them is an SCM. He had to move his office. He had to close down his office and then move to Canada. So you can imagine what is going on. And it's a very terrible situation. Many lecturers are leaving. Many doctors, nurses, engineers, they are all living in droves. So, and I think, like I said, part of the problem part of the problem, if you ask me,
Okay.
is the fact that we have enthroned mediocrity in governance for so long. If you watch most of the people that are running the affairs of this country, some of them are not even educated. Some of them are semi-educated people. Some of them manufacture certificates for themselves. And they have a system of raising mediocre, intelligent people, hardworking people, experienced people. You know, we have a system that excludes some of those gifted men. Their gifts can only thrive outside the country. And that's why we're having this challenge. You know, that's why we have go and look at all the chairmen of the local government. Most of our local government are being run by illiterate or semi-illiterate.
I mean, how do you substantiate that? Do you have evidence for that?
Almost all the local government that I know in my own state, in Lagos, I know those who are there, almost all around me, all around.
All right, let's.
The best of them may be somebody who has a degree.
Okay, let's look at other factors. Yeah, talking about the Trump's ban on birthright citizenship. Don't forget that most times, I mean, so many, even celebrities, Nigerians, when they want to give birth, they run to these countries to give birth just for this birthright citizenship. But now, Trump is going so hard on this, you know. But the 22 states have sued to stop Trump's order, you know, blocking birthright citizenship. And then the federal district judge, you know, has temporarily blocked President Donald Trump's executive order aiming at limiting birthright citizenship. Also, Nigerians are also kicking hard against Trump's action, saying that it is illegal. I mean, you're a lawyer. Is this actions illegal?
Well, I wouldn't say the question of whether it is legal or illegal that is the issue at this time. You see, America is a very pragmatic country, all right? It's a country that believes in what works for them. If something is not working, they are not interested in it, or they would definitely revisit it.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be. I mean, in other climes, even in Nigeria, it's just that.
They see it as part of the. Yes, they see it as part of their way of progressing their nation, advancing the cause of their nation. You know, and they apply pragmatism in all aspects, and that's what Trump is doing now. It is needed. What Trump is doing is actually necessary, even though it's painful to some people and all of that. Let's leave the question of legality now. If you get to the U.S. as of today, you discover that so many people are moving into the U.S. and most of these people are not documented. They are not profiled. And of course, the influx of people into the U.S. calls for questions of national defense, national security, and all of that. And only a very naive president will allow that to continue to happen day by day. And some of these people are coming from countries that are red flagged as far as American national defense principles or policies are involved.
You are in support of Trump's action?
Obviously, I'm in support of Trump action. Even though all that they need to do, Trump needs to amend the laws to be able to apply the policy as it were. Because if you look at the provision of the Constitution of the U.S., the Constitution of the U.S. For the 14th Amendment actually makes provision for anyone that is born in the U.S.
Okay, let me put this to you.
The citizenship of the U.S.
Let me put this to you, Barrister.
What Trump said about that.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to put this to you, Barrister Deji. I mean, your son's wife comes and wants to deliver, and your son is saying, "Oh, Dad, I want to, go to the U.S. to deliver," and then you remember that Trump has dropped this action. Doesn't it gives you any reflection? I mean, you are in a state where
well,
your child wants to give birth and is suggesting of going to the US, just as other celebrities, other people, not just celebrities, other personalities, other people in the country do. And then you not remember that, okay, this action is coming up. Doesn't it give you a reflection?
Well, it is a reflection. But you see, more particularly, what Trump is angry over is the fact that people will leave their country to come into the U.S. to give back to their children. They will get pregnant in their country, and there are lots of documentation by the American government of that. They will get pregnant in their country. When it is time for them to give birth, they come into the U.S. and give birth to the child so that the child can become a U.S. citizen. And I think that's what Trump is against. All right? That's particularly the aspect is against. And then those who have challenges, criminal challenges in their countries, and they come into the U.S. as a hideout.
So what's the illegality there?
You also have terrorist groups who want to make the U.S. their base for their activism and for the projection of their criminal activities. So these are the groups that Trump is actually against.
I could understand the one of criminal activities. I could understand the one of bad things. But what about Beth?
What about what?
Birth certificate. I mean, given birth in the U.S. Is that should that be a climb to
yes.
give an order on?
Yes. The idea is this. Now, every child that is born in the U.S. by virtue of the Constitution, which Trump intends to change, by virtue of the Constitution, is an American citizen. And of course, there is a lot mass movement from different countries of the world, but people to ensure that.
Sorry to cut you. I mean, do you know that this system is not only in the U.S.? Yes. You know, this birth right certificate, citizenship is not only in the U.S. In UK, is same thing also.
UK has changed it also. UK has changed theirs. It's no longer the fact that you are born in the UK from now on does not mean you are a citizen of the UK now. That has been changed in the UK. Canada too is proposing to change it too. They are almost about changing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, that if you are going to be a citizen, there has to be a naturalization process. Okay? It's not that you cannot be a citizen, but go through the naturalization process.
For UK, it's also the same thing like that too.
Not just as a matter of entitlement or right that I was born there, when your origin in another state. And because of the problem of dual nationality also, many people have U.S. citizenship, but they owe allegiance to their country of origin. And some of them constitute big problem to the U.S. For instance, see what happened during the Israel-Gaza problem in the U.S.
War.
See the large chunk of people who were campaigning and fighting against the U.S. You know, just because the U.S. It seems to be supporting Israel and all of that. See, the problem is created on campuses by many Arabs who are in the U.S. And I want to tell you, many of those Arabs, most of them had problems in their countries. Their countries are on fire. Instead of them moving to other Arab countries, for instance, moving to Egypt, moving to Libya, Morocco, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and all of that, they go to the U.S. Far away in the U.S. They move to the U.S. And many of them are undocumented. So, for purposes of national security, it is exigent that Trump address this problem so that they can properly plan who are Americans and those who are not. And you can see the level of hatred that was generated against the U.S. as a result of his policy in the Middle East and all of that. So all of these put together perhaps are the things that Trump is looking at while he's saying you cannot have an entitlement to the nationality of the U.S. by just the fact that you were born in the U.S., particularly those who bring their... If you get to the U.S., you find that, and funny enough, these people, these Arabs and these other countries, like the Latin American countries, like Africans, we are polygamous. We bring a lot of, you can imagine a man bringing almost all his 3 wives into the U.S., maybe with 15 children, and all of them will be on social benefit in the U.S. That puts pressure on the economy of the U.S. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
I'm with you, Mr. Barrister.
So I think that's the reason why Trump is particular about that area, that there has to be a reform, okay, so that anybody who is going to be a U.S. citizen will have naturalized, not as a matter of entitlement that I was born in the U.S., when most of them have allegiance to their country and still carry the passport of their country. And of course, it is not targeted at Nigerians. I don't know why Nigeria is unduly sensitive about it.
All right.
Well, it is true that in the U.S. as of today, 60% of those who are highly qualified in the U.S. are Nigerians. And there's no doubt about that. And Nigerians had excelled themselves in almost every aspect of the U.S. economy and social life. Whether you talk of medicine, whether you talk of
during the
law,
inauguration, we have about 2 Nigerian stars who were present at the inauguration.
Obviously.
So all
obviously.
of this,
and the best engineer now in the world on robotics is a Nigerian young man.
we're doing well. We're really doing well in terms of.
I don't think Trump is targeting such people.
So just about the birth right thing. Okay, Lagos, you can be part of this conversation. Yes, join us and let's be part of this conversation. Let's hear your comments. Let's hear your questions. 0705-890-4927. 0705-890-4927. Or 0805-092-0927. 0805-092-0927. Don't forget you can send your messages via WhatsApp on 0705. You send us message via WhatsApp 0705 690 0927. 0705 690 0927. Who do we have on the line there? Good morning. Or place the callers back 0705 890 4927. All right, Mr. Barrister DG, a former presidential media aide, Laolu Akonde, and he has faulted the president, Donald Trump's executive order, banning this birthright citizenship. He said that, the broad agenda of Trump to make America great again, or his intentions and plans to be insular is not his problem. But what is his problem is the implications of his style of politics and the language of his politics. Banning the citizenship rights of people who are born in America. He said that is an overreach. How you could say that doesn't affect Nigeria, but it does affect Nigeria because there are a lot of Nigerians who are caught in that web. How do you now advise Nigerians who are caught in this web? I put you on the spot there concerning if you have your child probably wants to give birth right in the U.S. You said it yourself that there'll be this reflection around you and all. But what's your advice? I asked you also that is this step illegal? Because 62 states right there, 62 states have sued to block Donald Trump on this move. Even the Federal District Court has also taken a move to temporarily block Donald Trump's executive order aiming at limiting birth rights. So it seems to be like, others are beneficiary of this thing in the U.S. But Trump is just being political about this drive. What is your take on this?
Yes, let me see. Let's go to the question of the legality first.
All right.
Okay. Now, the provision. I've just told you that the Constitution of the U.S. has a provision that allows anyone that is born in the U.S. to assume or retain the citizenship of the U.S.
So meaning that a
As a
step
matter of-
is illegal.
Yeah?
Meaning that's the step that Donald Trump is taking right now is illegal.
No, it's a policy. It's a policy. What needs to be done? All they just need is to amend the constitution. That's all. That's all. Trump is not really saying that anyone born is not entitled to. The amendment Trump is proposing to it
It's a change.
is that anyone whose parent or any of his parents is already an American citizen is entitled to American citizenship. Okay? But if by virtue of the fact that you were born only in America, you are entitled to citizenship, there has to be certain conditions that must be fulfilled. That's the essence of the executive order. And it's a way, you see, as at the time the Constitution was made, as at the time the American Constitution was made, which is going to almost over 400 years now, all right? America needed to grow and develop. America needed a lot of people to populate it. That provision was done by the founding fathers in the U.S. at that time to be able to make America a land of freedom where people can come and settle down and find a new life. Okay, that was the historical antecedent of that provision. Okay, but we are living at a time now when America is by far very advanced as a nation, and there is a need for America to control its borders. There is a need for America to document those who are its citizens. As of today, America does not have full documentation of all who are citizens of the U.S. As a result of this influx, as a result of people who are born in the U.S. and taken back to other countries after they are born, claiming nationality. In fact, most of the claim that you will find in the immigration are people who are laying claim to the fact that they were born in the U.S. and providing evidence that they were born in the U.S. when in fact their parents are not from the U.S. They are not even settlers in the U.S. All right? Even these children and their parents do not even settle in the U.S. It's a different thing if you were born in the U.S. and your parents are living in the U.S. That residency requirement validates it. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I'm a true barrister.
So that's the real core of the problem. It's not that the policy itself, where the Constitution says you are entitled to it, but Trump is trying to put some conditions that will make you to be entitled to it. So it shouldn't be as of right. And of course, the Constitution can be amended. And if it is not amended, then that's when you can be talking about complications and all of that. And I'm sure Trump and the Attorney General, the new Attorney General of the U.S., they understand the legal procedure for amending those provisions.
Anyway,
but whether it will sail through, we'll still have to see whether it will actually sail through. I know that some states have shown dissension,
yes.
And that is the American democracy for you. You see, a national issue, a state can have a different opinion about it. Okay, and that's why they call the America a federal state.
The U.S. court and the Supreme Court.
Place, we are not going to deport anybody who is not documented. Rather, we will put a policy in place for them to be properly documented. You know, so that's the preference of any state. The state have that choice. Okay.
Well, anyway, the U.S. courts and also will definitely see to all of these issues, and we'll see how things will move forward. The U.S. court and the Supreme Court will decide on the legality, of this Trump's move. But who will this affect most? And would this also reduce brain drain in Nigeria?
Well,
if implemented,
it's going to affect the U.S. if that policy is shut down. It's going to affect because the infiltration and for purposes of espionage, U.S. is very particular about surveillance, national surveillance, espionage, and all of that. And there's a lot of infiltration into the U.S., particularly from countries that the U.S. considered as terrorist nations. Many of them, they come into the U.S. to give back to children so that those children can return the U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
And of course, they can be able to influence the national policies of those countries in the near future. That's the idea behind most of those things. And you have suffered that in the hands of many people. In fact, some of those Arabs and some of those other countries who are making trouble, like the Intifada now, that the extreme west, the extreme east, the extreme socialist group, is filled with many people from some of these countries. And Trump knows about that. And Trump sees it. So somebody who is nationalistic, somebody who has the love of his country at heart, will have to guard the nation. He wouldn't want America to go down. Many of them may not see what he's saying. But to me, I think it is necessary at this time for America to be able to put a threshold on who gets the citizenship of the U.S. Because, of course, you know how important the citizenship of the U.S. is in global politics. America will not want a situation where people that are claiming American citizenship are working against the state or working against the interests of the state, either because of their religious beliefs or because of their country of origin and all of that. You know, America doesn't want that. And that's why the oath that you take when you naturalize, you know, is very explicit. And once you break that oath, then you can be deported. They can withdraw your citizenship. But if you are claiming to be American by birth, by entitlement, you know,
it's
and
difficult.
You are resisting and you are working against the American interest, there's nothing America can do to you. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, I got it.
If you go to the Congress right now, there are a group of young Arabs who are American citizens who are creating serious problem in the Congress, the U.S. Congress as at now, on the issue of the Middle East crisis and all of that. And you cannot be resisting and fighting against a country you claim you are a citizen of, and yet owe allegiance to another country, and you are working for another country against the U.S. that you claim is your country. So it's a big problem. It's a complex thing. And many people may not understand.
A complex issues right there. We're still looking at brain drain and the legality of Trump's ban on birthright citizenship. Yes, we still have a legal practitioner, a public affairs analyst, and also a university lecturer right here, Barrister Deji Olaleye Lagos. You can also be part of this conversation. Send a WhatsApp message 0705 690 0927 0705 690 0927, or call us on 0705 890 4927 0705 890 4927. You can also call 0805 092 0927 0805 092 0927. Barrister, let's talk about publications. I mean, there are so many publications from... Hello, Barrister, are you there?
Yes.
All right. There's so many publications from all of these embassies. Recently, we have the German embassy, the island. Most of all of these people, release, will I say, a statement about, their working visas for people who are professionals in several fields and all of this. Shouldn't the federal government put a kind of restrictions on all of that? Is that not going to be part of things to aid brain drain?
Well,
to stop brain drain.
It is an incentive for brain drain, no doubt, as you have rightly observed. It's an incentive for brain drain, but there is nothing Nigerian government can do about it. In fact, if you watch in the last 2 years, there have been a change of the immigration laws in Germany, in Netherlands, in Sweden, in US, and also in I think Finland. Right now, in the past, you go through a very long process. If you are a highly qualified professional, to be able to get resident permit into those countries. You go through very tough procedure. But in the last 2 years, they have relaxed it. If you have any good qualification, you are a high net worth person, or you have high qualification for master's degree, right now you can walk to any embassy and ask for their highly skilled visa, and they will give it to you. The procedure is very relaxed now for Germany, for Netherlands, for even Luxembourg. Sweden.
And you think that the federal government should just fold their hands and look while complaining the brain drain?
What would they do? They can't prevent people from moving. Anybody who wants to move, you can't stop anybody from moving.
If things are better, how many U.S. expatriates do you see in the country? They only come here, maybe make money and go back, do some contracts and go back.
You see, let me put it this way. You see, if you want to attract a ram or goats, what do? You plant grass. If you are not planting grass, the cattle or the cow or the goat cannot come to your field if your field is dry. That's what international politics is all about. If your ground does not have anything they can eat, nobody will come there. So if other people are planting grass on their field, of course your own cow, your own goat will also go there to graze. So that's how it is. You can't stop it. You can't. Nigeria should just do what is right. They should just put this country in order, so that people can live well in this country, or at least live comfortably and be proud to be. Nigerians are proud of their country, and they can be proud of their country. You know, you can see what is happening all over the world. Even Nigerians abroad, they constitute a community, well-known community of their own abroad. And that tells you that it's because the condition at home is not conducive to a proper existence, to a normal life. That's why people are moving out. People will always move out in search of greener pasture, in search of better living conditions. So you cannot stop it. And other countries who need expatriates, who need highly skilled workers, who take from your country. There's nothing you can do about that. If you cannot treat your highly qualified people well, obviously other countries will treat them well. They will take them, give them citizenship, and let them settle down and work in their country. There's competition to develop different countries. It's only Nigeria that doesn't see that competition in the international plane. It's only Nigeria that doesn't see it. Our borders are just there, opened, but nobody rich because they know Nigeria is rich and we are stupid. There's not most of what they bring is not investment. How many of those things, how many of the manufacturing industries have you seen them bringing into the country? They come here to come and help us set up projects. That's what they do. You want to build road, you give it to them, they do it. You want to do bridge, you give it to them, they do it. When you have a lot of engineers in your country, you are not engaging them. So that's the problem that we are having. You call the Chinese, you call different people to come. That's what they call foreign investment. That's not foreign investment. Where people come and help you set up infrastructures and they collect their money, and all of that. That's not foreign investment.
Well,
where people come and they buy up your domestic industries.
I think we're coming up in a way. Thank God for the likes of Dangote, who is now going into construction, engineering.
God for Dangote. Yes. There are Nigerians who can invest in this country, but the environment is not suitable. The policies are not suitable for any investment to survive. There are no infrastructure, no amenities. You have to pay for water, pay for light. All the things that government should provide for industries are not there. They are not in place. So how can somebody come and invest in a country like this? That's the challenge.
All right, there's been a wonderful time talking to you, Barrister Deji Olale,
Thank you very
legal
much.
practitioner and
Thank you.
public
It's always
affairs
a pleasure
analyst,
to talk with you.
university lecturer. Thank you very much for your time. All right, Lagos, this is where we draw the curtain on the show this week. Yes, the last edition for this week. Join us again on Monday, same time, 7:30, from the pages down to 9 a.m., where we begin Spotlight from 8 a.m. My name is Michael Inyang. Have a beautiful day.
Stand in the rain as the clouds go gray. The thunder roars and the earth sings. The season's just beginning. Sunlight it hides as the clouds make way. For the pouring of my blessings, I will not be afraid. I see it now, I understand, I know. So I embrace it, dance. In the rain, it's for my seed to grow. For every prayer and every seed I've sown, Lord of the harvest knows I'm reaping back 100-fold. The land is green.